WRFG Atlanta, now celebrating our 50th year as your independent community radio station for progressive information and hand-picked quality music. Since 1973, WRFG has provided a voice for those who have been traditionally denied open access to the broadcast media through the involvement of a broad base of community elements to guarantee that access. In the utilization of the station's facilities and its programs, the following communities will receive first priority: those who continue to be denied free and open access to the broadcast media, those who suffer oppression or exploitation based upon class, race, sex, age, creed, sexual orientation, disability, or immigrant status. How about helping us celebrate our milestone 50th year on the air by making your contribution now at wrfg.org.
Good morning, Bob. Good morning, Blues. WRFG Atlanta.
Good morning, Blues. We'll brighten up your day as you put on your shoes. Yeah, yeah. You know it's got to be the way to wake up each and every day on WRFG in Atlanta. Good morning, Blues.
Good morning, Blues.
Greetings all. Welcome to Good Morning Blues Part 2. Glad to be back after 12 days in freezing London. I wouldn't normally be there end of February. It's normally first week of April, but it was my pal's, one of my best pals' birthday, 60th birthday, big deal. And I was very happy to surprise him and show up for that. Still got a bit of a croak in the voice because being in that temperature, it was 35 to 40 degrees. I caught tons of great live music, but also the British flu. Yeah, there was a big flu thing going around. So anyway, I land back here and it's 77 bloody degrees and a 2,000 pollen count. So then it swung into all the other issues of such a dramatic change, and your lungs are just like going, what is going on? But anyway, while I was gone, very unexpectedly lost my friend Marion Dagler, who for many years did the 6 to 8 slot before me. And she was only 69. She died in her sleep, reasons unknown. And it's still a shock. It's been 10 days. Can't quite get to grips with it. She was a very sweet, classy lady. We shared many a table at many a music show. And I'm very sad that she's gone. So I'm going to make the occasional joke that she would make fun of me. Especially I think certain artists, I would use phonetic delivery of their names, which apparently is not something you do in America, is it? No, God forbid. But she would always laugh and catch me on that and text me or something. So I don't know who's going to be my corrector now of my pronunciation. We'll have to come up with a list of reminders, Marion's reminders, things not to do. Meanwhile, I'll give you a quick rundown of who I saw if I find my list. I did get to do a lot every night. And we're going to actually start off with Dana Gillespie because her great show was my first night in. I was still jet lagged, but I made it to the Eel Pie Club. I didn't quite make it to Tim Penn's second line of the George Fourth, which was only 5-6 miles away, but got a late start and he finished about 10:45. But never mind, next time we'll get that. The Friday night, I went to see the wonderful Slim Chance, Ronnie Lane's band. That was terrific. The next, Saturday night, Kokomo, amazing band from the 70s, and this was a knockout show. I still can't believe they put out such a sound, but Kokomo were fantastic. Sunday night, the Tony O'Malley Band at the 606 Club, my buddy Tony, who does the opening station intro. And that reminds me, Dana Gillespie does station IDs for me too, which you hear. Tony was terrific with his young band and took some great pictures. Great to see him and hang out. Let's see. Next up was the Errol Linton Band. Yay! Saw them at one of my favorite places in Brixton. It's a pub in the middle of a housing estate. And you walk there in the dark of night and you think, there's nothing out here. And you turn a corner and you just see the lights on the building. And it's this old Victorian big building. And you think, oh, this is a really gloomy old English pub. But it's not. It was totally done out inside a few years ago. And it's a cracking place to go see a live show. He plays there every week. And there's a story behind that. Simply because it was one of those things that connects to history. You know, he's Jamaican heritage, and his family came over around the end of, I guess this would have been the end of the 40s after World War II, as many of the islanders did to help rebuild London. They were coming to their new life, and they were housed in and around that area. So it's kind of interesting that he gets to play there. Anyway, they were terrific, as they always are. Thursday night jam side up, which is Blegay. That's Tim Hain and a bunch of great players, including Alan Glenn from the Yardbirds and 9 Below Zero, doing a mashup of all kinds of things. What a Kid Creole I saw after that. Fleetwood Back, which is a fairly reasonable Fleetwood cover band. And I think that's when I ran out of steam.
You might do like this, but I'll do like that. Oh, you might think I'm crazy, say I'm an old hat. Now I won't disagree, 'cause maybe you got a point, but you should have seen me younger when I rocked the joint. You might say, there's no fool like an old fool, but I don't care, 'cause I'm old school. Don't wanna spend my time just staring at a screen, 'cause you never can imagine all the things I've seen. I've lived so many lives, all rolled into one. So don't go thinking I don't know about having fun. Now you might say that I'm no longer cool, but I don't care, 'cause I'm old school. Give me peace and quiet, yes, I'm old school. I know all the loud noise comes from the shallow end of a swimming pool. Oh, I'm old school. Yes, I'm old school. If I had to choose between the tortoise and the hare, give me slow and steady to take me there. And if I had to choose between first and last, I'm quite happy living in the past. Don't mind if you hold me up to ridicule, 'cause I don't care, 'cause I'm old school. Now you might say there's This is Dana Gillespie from London, England, to tell you about the second best way to wake up. Just tune in to UK Bob and his Good Morning Blues show and feel good for 4 hours on WRFG Atlanta.
Mystery, your smoke and mirrors are confusing me. I don't know. I just don't know. You move to the left, you move to the right. You just keep twisting. What's wrong, what's right? I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know. Who to trust? No, I don't know just who to trust. I hear your fine words, can I see sense in what I've heard? I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know. You move to the left, you move to the right, you just keep twisting. What's wrong, what's right? I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know. Come on now, make it clear. Where you stand, are you sincere? Can I believe a word you say? Don't understand the games you play. I don't know. You just keep twisting. What's wrong, what's right? I don't know. You move to the left, you move to the right. You just keep twisting. What's wrong, what's right? I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Incorporated presents Bluesin' at the Bliss, Sunday, March 12th, featuring the Mississippi blues man Mr. Sip, performing live at the Bliss Lounge in Stone Mountain, Georgia. Doors at 6 p.m., live music at 8 p.m., with a steppers competition from 7 until 7:45 p.m. Bliss Lounge is located at 5471 Memorial Drive, Stone Mountain, Georgia, 30083. For tickets and more info, bluesatbliss.eventbrite.com and 404-271-0871. Again, for tickets and info for Bluesin' at Bliss, Sunday, March 12th, featuring the Mississippi blues man Mr. Sip, bluesatbliss.eventbrite.com and 404-271-0871. This has been a public service announcement brought to you by your station for progressive information and handpicked quality music, WRFG 89.3 FM Atlanta.
So we kicked off with Dana Gillespie in Old School because she doesn't do much on social media. She has people do it for her. But she will be a guest in the lineup for the Austin South by Southwest Festival this year. So that's kind of a big surprise. The Dana Gillespie and the London Blues Band, who I just saw. If you want to catch the live video, there's some very funny stuff, but it has a few rude words in it, which is why I can't play it on the air. But you'll find it on Instagram, UKBob_WRFG. Play through all the videos. Most of them should pop up just in the line of the last 2 weeks. Some great stuff by most of the acts I went to see. Then we had the Gary Fletcher Band and a song called I Just Don't Know. Gary still is guitar player for the Blues Band, which has been going for 45 years. He also does his own thing to the side, and he also does the Great British Blues All-Stars with Dave Kelly, Zoot Money, and a bunch of other people. We're going to move on to a chap I didn't get to see this time, but I shared some stories with while I was there and didn't know about this album because it's not that old, about 7 or 8 years old, I think. The reason it's relevant is because I was there also to celebrate my birthday. My best pal, Paul Sherritt, had his birthday, and mine is like 5-6 days late. No, there's about a 10-day gap, and so I was there in between. Anyway, we both did birthdays. I was actually back here in Atlanta on my birthday, but there's always sad things are important to remember. On my birthday, March the 1st, is when we lost Jules Fothergill, who is a fantastic guitar player with a band called Northside. And it's just bizarre to think he's been gone 14 years. He died young at 39. He was not just a great bloke. He was the producer and much more involved, not just a musician. And he was also very involved in the tracks you're going to hear right now. Mr. John O'Leary and his band, including some great players.
and trying to conform to others' ideal, someone else's rule. This life I'm living in mine, I'm supposed to feel that's fine. I didn't make this world I'm living in, so I'm not gonna toe the line. I'm tired of trying to be someone I know ain't me. I'm tired of living up to what people expect me to be. You know some people are different, well ain't that a crying shame? Now wouldn't it be a real drag if we were all the same? I'm not gonna try to please all those eyes that just don't see. If I get myself together, oh, you have the blues, not me. You're gonna have the blues, not me. Tired of trying to be something I know ain't me. I'm tired of living up to what people expect me to be. You know some people are different, ain't that a crying shame? Oh, wouldn't it be a real drag if we were all the same? And I'm not gonna try to please.
So you heard 3 tracks there from the John O'Leary Band from a great set that I didn't know about called Two for the Show about 10 years ago. Why did I pick those through? Well, the first track, Early in the Morning, was written by Jules Fothergill, who I was honouring. The second track, I'm Tired, if you recognised it, I used to play that a lot. It's a Savoy Brown song written by Chris Youlden, and one of my favourites in the old blues Savoy Brown collection that I used to play samples of. And in this particular case, the vocals are Dave Walker, another former Savoy Brown member. And the last piece is a funky thing called Butterfingers. So that brings you up to speed on that. To continue, there's an interesting connection, but unfortunately, again, celebrating a loss. The great Victor BROX passed away while I was there in England. And you're all going to say, aha, Bob, yes, right, sorry, not entirely sure who you're talking about. You do, you just don't realize it. He was 80, got to be 82, 3, somewhere around there. Anyway, he was described by Hendrix and Tina Turner as their favorite white blues singer. He was a singer that also played horn, I think it was a cornet, and keyboards more than anything else. But he seemed to be able to do lots of things. And Victor BROX's blues train has been going for 40, 50 years. But at the same time, he played with a crazy list of all the other great British bands and musicians as guest or part of an album or whatever. He was also lead singer in the Ainsley Dunbar Retaliation, as well as organ. Anyway, one of the odd things about him, he appeared uncredited in the film Ever After, because he was a lookalike for Leonardo da Vinci. So there you go. So go check out Victor BROX and his blues train. You've heard me play his daughter Kyla BROX, great singer. So to make the connection to all of that, here's a band called Main Squeeze back in the day, which featured Victor BROX, John O'Leary, who he just played, Dick Hextall-Smith, and other luminaries. Very magical band. There's been so many magical bands. Where does it all actually come to an end? Another one of John O'Leary's terrific bands. Go find an album. If you can find this album, grab it. By a band called Sugarcane. On with the music.
Good morning, blues. This is Marcus Malone on the other side of the Atlantic in jolly London, England. You're listening to my top mate, UK Bob, playing the best of British blues on WRFG Atlanta. What a way to start the day. Oh, yeah.
For Mr. Victor BROX and Voodoo Man. Okay.
Time to choose.
till the morning light. Get back, I'm through. Send my loving on home to you. Hey, honey, don't you understand? Been working all day, doing the best I can. Got that easy loving if you take my hand. I'm a hard-working man. I'm a hard-working man. Oh, yes, I am. Just wait, payday. I'm gonna take you somewhere far away, baby. Us two, sky blue. First I got to make a run or two. Boss man is on the line. Said he's gonna pay me overtime. Yes, he is, baby. Hey, honey, don't you understand? Been working all day, doing the best I can. Got that easy loving if you take my hand. I'm a hard-working man. I'm a hard-working man. With your life that I am. Hey, honey, don't you understand? Been working all day, doing the best I can. Got that easy loving if you take my hand. I'm a hard-working man.
Well, I reckon now's a good time to tell you about a good man who tried to help the world finally understand that it's so wrong to judge another by the color of their skin. That good man's name, John Howard Griffin. John was a white man who just had to know how it feels to be a black man in the land of Jim Crow. So he underwent treatments to turn his skin dark brown. Then he headed down south to take a look around. It's a crazy idea, folks said, you get yourself killed. But John found a doctor who prescribed special pills, and he laid under the sun lamp, cotton pads on his eyes, till one day in the mirror he saw a man he didn't recognize. He knew he'd meet some hard times, but it really got a shock. Life as a black man was harder than a rock. Couldn't find a job, even a restroom to use. I'm talking about that Jim Crow and Jim Crow blues. Oh, Johnny Law. Well, John wrote a book, Black Like Me. Might have heard about it, seen him on TV. But in his hometown in Texas, they burnt his effigy. Had to move to Mexico to protect his family. A few years later, back in the land of the free, while John was on a road trip in Mississippi, his car broke down, and as he wondered what to do next, some locals showed up and beat him half to death. They beat John with chains for educating a nation. Being a truth sayer is a dangerous occupation. Some cheered his dedication to a world free of hatred. Others cursed the man yelling, "You're a goddamn traitor." So I reckon it's a good time to remember black like me, written by a good man who believed in equality, believed it's wrong to judge another by the color of their skin. That good man's name, John Howard Griffin. Oh yeah, John.
Don't forget, part 2 of the show, MARC BROUSSARD from New Orleans. Going to be here Friday the 17th, yes, St. Paddy's Day, with Grammy winners Dirty Dozen Brass Band opening big show at the Eastern about his fabulous 4th edition SOS album that you're going to hear. You just heard Main Squeeze, which I told you about. That was an 80s track celebrating Victor BROX, who passed while I was in London. Followed very obviously by Marcus King with a new track they did acoustically. And Eric Bibb with Muscle Relone, Muscle Relone. What a great name. I've been to the gym today, that's why. Russell Malone and the Ballad of John Howard Griffin. Let's pop back to London and Atlanta and then Italy for a spread of 3 songs.
The Midday Nonprofit Nexus at Central Library presents a whole new way to network with networking and collaboration opportunities, exposure to products from Georgia's funders, and another way to promote exciting new nonprofit endeavors. Beginning on Tuesday, March 21st at 12 noon, this networking series aims to provide an anchored destination space that is community-focused for Atlanta's nonprofit organizations and professionals. Hosted by a 15-plus year social sector professional and native Atlantan, Alexis S. Flanagan. Registration can be done at Eventbrite or Fulco Library Events. That's FULCO Library Events. Tuesday, March 21st at 12 noon. For more information, the email is kathy.pacelli@fultoncountyga.gov. That's Kathy with a K, .PISELLI@fultoncountyga.gov. This has been another public service announcement brought to you by your listener-sponsored and supported community radio, 89.3 FM Atlanta and WRFG.org worldwide. Your station for progressive information and hand-picked quality music.
Come no matter what you do, could be coming for you, yeah. Bad
step off of that train, better sit down and wait, 'cause the soul can't travel that fast. And the best part of me will surely be late, 'cause the soul can't travel that fast. A soul gotta walk like a pilgrim each stop, to smell every flower on the path. I better slow down, 'cause the soul can't travel that fast, travel that fast. When I get off of the road and thinking I'm home, I try to remember. When I'm holding my baby, but I'm leaving her cold, it's all 'cause the soul can't travel that fast. While the soul takes its time, like a pilgrim he's trying to find him some peace that's gonna last. I'm gonna slow down, 'cause the soul can't travel that fast, travel that fast. I better slow down, 'cause the soul can't travel that fast, travel that fast. Yeah. If I'm running or I'm flying and I'm losing my mind, take my foot off of the gas and let the other fools pass.
I like things they say are bad for you, like that cake, butter, sugar, red meat too. My doctor says my body is in an awful state. I like to keep it exactly 2 stone overweight. I don't see what's wrong with one night stands. I like babes that hang out with the band. If we'd listen to the experts, everything they said, forget about living, we might as well be dead. I like stuff that they say does me harm, like coke and smoke and the tattoo on my arm. I like driving big polluting cars. I like getting drunk in sleazy bars. I eat food with saturated fats, all the more when it upsets some cats. If we'd listen to the experts and everything they said, forget about living, we might as well be dead. Come on, Richard. Don't you believe that exercise is wise? So big as you get happy with your size. Those supermodels, baby, ain't for you. Kate Moss looks like she may just break two. I like telling very dirty jokes, all the more when it upsets some folks. If we listen to the experts and everything they said, forget about living, forget about living, forget about living, we might as well be dead.
First piece was a band I don't know too much about, kind of new, and Palace of the King is the name. They're from Buckinghamshire, which, of course, you would say Buckinghamshire. Dead End Blues, very rocky with harp and stuff, but the players I don't know, but they seem to have caused a bit of a stir. Then we popped back to Atlanta for the Wood Brothers and a brand new track from their upcoming album called Pilgrim. To me, sounded very much like a King Johnson song. Yes? Was it just me? Anyway. And finally, Ray Gelato and his Giants. And the reason I played that is it was about the bodily abuse that I survived in London, overdoing fish and chips, steak and kidney pie, curries, chocolate, all the things that are unique to there that I can't get here. So I thought, well, it's called forget about living. It's just knock yourself out. I come back here, of course, I do the opposite, cranking through 40-degree difference. And then the pollen count that was 2,000 odd. And trying to get back to the gym. I hadn't done anything but run around in London and get my body in shape. I think I signed up for the Shamrock Shuffle, a 5K run, which is a week Saturday. So I need to get at it. But anyway, I have been celebrating the things that I missed. The things that you can't get in London. A decent cup of coffee, not even Starbucks unless you're in the city. Suburban Starbucks do not use filter coffee. So good coffee. Pizza, never eat pizza in London or any fast food. You think fast food here is bad? It's twice as bad there and twice the price. So don't touch it. But anyway, here we are. We survived. I got to play this album because I was super impressed. American artist who's going to be 80 in December, guitar player that sings, and a great voice, and a huge history. I don't even play albums that have guitar instrumentals much. But man, this guy has a killer set just out. Here's a couple of pieces I melted together for you.
My mama always told me, don't be nobody's fool. There was plenty they never taught me when I was in school. They taught me to read and write, do my homework at night. I wish someone had told me how to play the game of love right. There were no instructions on how to heal the broken heart. Had to learn it on my own, all alone in the dark. Suddenly I felt stronger, even though I was way down. Something inside me said, you're gonna make it in this town. So I learned my lessons from the U of HK, University of Hard Knocks. Well, I learned my lessons from the U of HK, University of Hard Knocks. I can see it in your eyes. You don't have to explain. Your road has been rough, paved with so much pain. Hard lesson we had to learn, but not taught in class. Come on, let's make our future better than our past. Sometimes we slip on the floor, knock our heads against the wall. Always remember to get up every time we fall. Our hearts are there to show us when we can't find our way, bringing us through the darkness to our graduation day. Oh, we learn our lessons from the U of HK, University of Hard Knocks. Well, we learn our lessons from the U of HK, University of Hard Knocks. Bringing us through the darkness to graduation day.
Cats was two great tracks from a fabulous album by Mr. Arthur Adams. Title of the album, Kick Up Some Dust, and that was the title track that you just heard. Almost 80 in December. And go look at his pedigree. It's endless. Terrific stuff. Well, now it's time for me to give you some background on our terrific guest today, Mr. MARC BROUSSARD. For those of you that have been under certain rocks, I guess I give him the title of the godfather of Bayou Soul, with that voice of his. Bayou Soul to me is southern Louisiana roots, and in his case, funky Fayetteville side of things. Anyway, his dad, Ted, guitar player, speaking of fabulous, in the Fabulous Boogie Kings, Hall of Famer, yeah. So the two of them still go out now and again and do their own thing, and he appears here and there. But Mark started out on the road. This is beginning on the road. Imagine this, with Maroon 5, Dave Matthews, all kinds of big names. Oh, and yeah, that still unknown blues singer. What's her name? Bonnie Raitt. That's right. Anyway, 10 albums, 2 EPs, alive. Some of it with the band, some of it solo acoustic, some of it stripped down. Even the Lullabies album. Just a huge variation. The Dockside Collection, live in the studio. But on top of all of that, this, his 11th album, is what we're going to be talking about. And there's one thing that always remains, and that is this guy has a voice for love. I mean, it's there, it's embedded, it's in the lyrics, it's in the presentation of the music. You just feel it. And with Valentine's Day coming up, it's just, very, very appropriate as far as I'm concerned. Love makes the world go round. It makes it slow down if you're in it. Less speed for me means more peace. I think we need more tolerance, and you can be more tolerant if you just slow down. We've proven it. The sanctuary of love makes our trip around the planet just massively more rewarding. People are too busy competing for dollars and power and stuff like that. Anyway, I can't think of a better ambassador for Valentine's Day on having him on this show. And I needed to assemble some music to remind some of you and tickle your brains into what Mark's all about, what that voice is all about. So you can rely on me. Here's a little 9-piece bucket just to keep you occupied. Just passages that are a reminder, a medley of the voice on previous albums.